Now for some good memories, perhaps. What was your favorite moment during GamerGate?
Oh man. Um, just the moment that I realized that I had made some friends that I could see myself being friends with for a really long time. You know, some of the incidences that happened were pretty funny. Like, oh man, okay. So the Gamergate episode of SVU.
I never
Just
saw it,
sitting in
but
a
I've seen
call.
the memes. I've seen the clips and the memes.
You never. Oh God, dude, one of the Paul brothers is in it. I'm not even joking. Fucking not Jake.
Logan Paul?
I am drunk. Yes, Logan Paul was in it. He's the one who made. He was the one who made the I can't tell if it's real life. I can't tell the difference between real life and video games. That was him.
Was it Ice Cube was the main actor?
He was one of them. Yeah.
He came out later and he's
And
like, actually the media kind of got the Gamergate thing wrong.
oh no, I remember like 2 years after that episode, he just tweeted, "So what the fuck is GamerGate?"
Yeah, but I think he had like a pretty like not like terrible view on it. Like he was actually like,
Oh no, he was like, you know what? Let people enjoy video games.
yeah,
Don't demonize them. That was part of the reason why I started following him. That, and I found out that Body Count was believe it or not, he is actually in a metal band by the name of Body Count, and I heard they were getting back together. So, but yeah, no. I remember we had a huge watch party, and I was streaming our reactions to it, and I got struck. My stream got struck down in the middle of the episode. So we just all hung out in a Google Chats call. God, remember those? We all just hung
oh
out in a
yeah,
Google
I
Chats call.
liked that, but
Watched the rest of it.
Discord's kind of more fun for me.
Yeah. Now you can actually play games with people and just. I keep telling Nurgle that we need to get a group of people together to play Gartic Phone. Because that game can go off the rails so fucking quick. It's hilarious. I love that game.
Gardic phone?
Yeah, it's like you start with you put in a text prompt, and then you're randomly given someone else's prompt and you have to draw it. And then that drawing gets sent to another person that's playing the game and they have to interpret what they saw. And then it just keeps going for however many people are in there. And out of all of the games that I've played with the various groups of people I've played it with, 9 times out of 10, dicks are involved somehow. Someone puts a dick in a prompt or they draw a dick.
Well, hey, you happen to know a new streamer, so I might be down, but
One
it's
time
very different from the normal content I make. So
I got a prompt of a zombie dick chasing a car and I had to draw and here's the kicker. You only have a limited amount of time to do it. So I had 30 seconds to draw a zombie dick chasing a car. I did it. I did it. It wasn't my best work, but I did it.
if you could have if you could have changed one thing about Gamergate, what would it be?
I wish people on both sides could have been a little more open-minded. Because I saw some people on the pro side too. And I mean, I still see them on occasion who are just still have the us versus them mentality. And maybe it's because of all the time that's passed or something. Maybe I've just grown as a person, but the people because we all know that there are people on the anti side who still try to bring up Gamergate every now and then. And talk shit about us or whatever.
Yeah,
I
what
just
kind what
don't
kind of
care.
person would be talking about Gamergate in 2023?
um, but no, just like I've seen a few people get upset about it, and I'm just like, I don't care. And I honestly don't. I don't give it any attention. I don't pay it any mind. I'm just like, oh, okay. Let it be the dead horse. And that's about all I say. I just I don't care anymore. You know? It's words on the internet. And a lot of the people who say this shit, they weren't there. They're writing about what they've heard
Yeah, true.
about it from other people. So they weren't even there. Who cares?
What would you have personally done differently during GamerGate?
Hmm. Maybe, and I know this is going to go completely opposite of what I just said. Maybe not be so charitable to certain people. Because there were a few times where, like, talking about the stream incident I mentioned earlier, I was I thought that trying to be nice to the person, to the anti-GG or Nerdles chat, I thought maybe trying to be nice would, at the very least, maybe get them to back off a little bit. And it just made it worse. So I think I was a little too charitable to a few people in a few cases. I definitely wouldn't have had the us versus them attitude that I disagreed with it, but at the same time, I will admit that there were a few times I played into it.
You were better than most. You were very much better.
I
You were
tried.
very good about it, I feel.
I tried. But, there were a few times where I let my emotions get the better of me. And, I can look back on that and go, yeah, I could have handled that a bit more maturely. Maybe, you know, not start tearing up a little bit on a stream. But, you know, what can you do?
I think even like being
It happened.
emotional on stream is fine. I think it is actually.
Oh no, it's fine. But, at the same time, it's like I felt, in retrospect, maybe I was giving them what they want. Maybe they wanted to try and get me to break down like that. And they got some sort of sick triumph or feeling of triumph from hearing me kind of break down a little bit in the call. So,
I haven't actually.
but
Oh, sorry.
I also kind of wish that, and again, going opposite of what I just said, well, maybe not be so charitable to the people that were attacking me and my friends. Maybe make an effort to reach out to the random anti-GGer that I saw. I'm a chick. I'm a chick who's involved with this. Do can I share my experience with you? Because it's very different from what you're saying.
You did cut out slightly. You said you would reach out to the random anti-GGer and share your perspective
Yeah,
because it's a
and just
unique perspective
yeah,
as you're a
yeah.
woman
It's
with
like, look,
GamerGate.
exactly. There were a bunch of people that were just like, oh, I heard what this was, and I didn't. I just ignored it. Maybe I could have changed a few more minds if I had done that.
I haven't asked anybody about this yet, but I kind of want to delve into it. Do you want to talk about the music that was made by GamerGate people?
I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to a lot of it.
Oh, yeah,
So
that's fine. I wanted to interview one of the GamerGate sings people, but most of those people are deliberately anonymous. So
yeah, and for valid reason. Some of it was interesting. Um, I remember reading some of the lyrics that were posted when they were still looking for people to sing the songs, and I'm like, mm,
well, some of them were really
nah.
good, and some of them were like bad
Some of them
optics.
were good.
Some of them
Some
were
of
like
them were good. Some
bad
of them
optics.
made me cringe.
Yeah, some of them
Some
are
of
so
them
cringy.
made me cringe. Just like, oh Jesus. Like I couldn't see myself speaking that, let alone singing that.
Let's say it's 10 years from now, And an online movement
Mhm.
is looking to Gamergate, Black Lives Matter, and Occupy Wall Street for guidance for their movement. What advice do you have for them?
Oh boy. Call out the bad actors immediately. If you see some people that are claiming to be part of you that are acting outside of the best interest of the group, call it out and encourage others to call it out. Don't put up with anyone's bullshit. Don't expect everyone to be charitable to you. And it might be a good idea to grow a bit of a thick skin, or at least a somewhat thicker skin, because you're probably gonna have so many insults and accusations thrown at you that if you give it even the slightest bit of attention, then you know, in the person that threw the accusation or whatever at you, they won. Don't don't let your emotions rule you too much. Don't let your anger get the better of you.
Always good advice.
And don't
Oh,
don't see it as us versus them. Be willing to, be guarded, be cautious, but also be willing to listen or talk. Because I think better solutions come from trying to talk things out in a calm, rational manner than they do when you get overly emotional and just run in teeth gnashing.
have you personally learned any lessons from Gamergate?
A few, I think. Like I said, it's made me a lot more wary of just mainstream media as a whole. It kind of opened my eyes up to how much a lot of these news organizations are willing to lie about things. It made me better able to laugh off a lot of insults that I get now. Some of them still, if it's coming from, let me rephrase that. Laugh off insults that come from just random nobodies on the internet. If someone I see as a friend insults me, I'm still gonna be pretty hurt by it. But like, without going into too much detail, another server I'm in, someone called me a snowflake a few days ago, and it was the first time in my life I'd ever been called a snowflake, and I laughed. I read it and I go, well, that's a first, and then I spend the next 5 minutes laughing my ass off. And pre Gamergate, I don't know if I would have been able to do that. So, it's helped with that. Um,
Do you think Gamergate was successful in your eyes?
mm, I think it helped a lot of people become more aware of how much, the mainstream media really lies to us. Um, I think it's made more people aware of just big, big overcrowding corruption in general. Not overcrowding, but just, you know, big name corruption in general. Would I say it was a success? Well, it got a bunch of journalists to, with the meeting you were talking about earlier, to come together and talk things out. So I think in that way it was a success. I think it probably would have been more successful if we didn't have a lot of the bad actors coming in later on that did. But, you know, what can you do?
Be brutally honest with me. I know you will be. What do you
Okay.
think of this interview project?
Um, I think it's a good way to, for a lot of us at least, close this chapter of our lives. It's a thing for me personally, I think it's a thing that happened and I don't regret it. I don't regret my involvement with it, but I'm ready to move on. Because I mentioned earlier, I have changed a bit as a person over the last 9 years. And I'm ready to just move on. My viewpoint on a lot of things has, I don't want to say softened, but like I said earlier, I don't care what they have to say about me anymore. I just don't. So I'm ready. I think this is a good way to end it for a lot of us as far as Gamergate goes.
I've
And
heard that.
I think it's interesting you have people from both sides.
Yeah, unfortunately, only one of the people I'm interviewing from the other side is actually going to be on mic. I think the other two are doing text only.
Well, I mean, hey, at least they're still willing to talk.
Yeah, but yeah,
I
I've
think I've
heard.
calmed down a lot.
Oh, go ahead.
I
Sorry.
think I've calmed down a lot since then. No, you're good. I think I've calmed down a lot since then.
Me too. I still hold like the principal like views I think of Gamergate, like that I
Oh,
believe
same.
Gamergate was about. That like I believe in journalistic ethics. I believe in
Exactly.
creative freedom. I don't think that you should sit. I think that you can. There's certain tactics that people use that can create a chilling effect on the types of games that are made. Like I think criticizing games is
Right.
fine. You think a game is sexist, that's fine. Let's talk about that. But once you start getting like 2,000 people on Twitter to all message the publisher and tell them to take this out, I think that that's when things start to cross a line. That can create a chilling effect on the industry that's not helpful. Like my
I think
views.
that
Good.
I think all the people trying to shut them down and shut them up, I think that was just, you're doing the exact same thing they did. You're no better.
Oh, me debating them.
No, not you in general, just anyone who would message these people and try to shut them down.
Oh, the people who are doing the pressuring the developers.
Yeah.
I
It's like you're no better.
Yeah, I don't support censoring anybody. I support hearing them out and debating them and discussing why I think that their ideas are bad, and they can tell me why they think my ideas are bad, and we can have a conversation. Like I don't, yeah, I personally would never support censoring the people who are doing this. I just think that I think that as a societal cultural practice, that we should probably move away from
Mhm.
that kind of engagement and towards a healthier
Oh, yeah.
form of engagement.
Exactly. Yeah, I can agree with that.
Some people reading this might hold a negative view of Gamergate. Actually, I do want to talk. What you said there, closing this chapter of our lives. I've heard that from so many people, and I feel the same way. I feel like this project for me is closing the chapter of my life, and I've heard it from other people who have said the same thing. Like Lord Nurgle talked about how he wants to close this chapter as well. That's why he's doing the
Oh, yeah,
interview.
he's been talking to me about that for a really long time now.
And it's Lord Nurgle was one of the best of us, right? Like if you wanted
Oh, yeah.
if you wanted someone who you thought would do like super well in a debate about this, and like, or not even like a debate, but like someone who was super well informed.
You
You
send
could always
Nurgle in.
turn to him, and he would know what was going on, and he could help you out.
It would be like the group of penguins that just shoved the one penguin out to deal with whatever issue. It's like we were all the penguins and just like, oh shit, Nurgle, here.
It feels good. It feels. I don't know if I'm not the interviewee. Does it feel good to talk about this stuff again after all this time?
Kinda. Because I mean, every now and then, like, I'll come across an old post I did, or yeah, I'll be going through my old videos and be like, oh yeah, I remember that. And just like thinking about how much I've changed since then.
Yeah.
I think it's a good retrospective.
I wish I didn't delete everything from back then. Like I think some of the stuff I argued was like kind of cringy, like really cringy. But some of it was really good stuff too.
Yeah, I think we've all had arguments for we thought we did great at the time, but later on we're just like, oh god, that's a random thought that haunts you when you're trying to sleep.
I was talking
Just
with
like out of nowhere. Remember that cringy thing you said during that one stream? It's like, oh shit.
well, that's why I had to get rid of it all because it's like I want to focus on my real life, my career, right? I don't want.
Right.
Oh well, 7 years ago on this stream. Oh shit. Oh no,
I
my
know,
life's
right?
over. You know.
Oh no, when I think my reaction when Nurgle was like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna delete a lot of the old GamerGate streams," was, "Oh, thank God."
Well, I honestly, well, my view is take it private then, because I, you might regret it later on in life, because I really did. I didn't think I would, but
Well,
two
I mean,
years
that's
after I
why
deleted
all of
it
mine are
all, I
privated.
regret it.
That's why all of mine are just privated.
I
There were
should
a
have.
couple I deleted, but not because of they were GamerGate or because I thought a take that I made was cringe. It was dealing with yeah, there were people that I might have had a huge falling out with that were
Uh,
in there that I really don't want to. Yeah, I'm not naming names.
some people reading this might hold a negative view of Gamergate. Do you have anything you want to say
Mm.
to these people?
Uh, I can understand why you might have a negative view of what all happened. All I ask is that you actually do some research into it, maybe talk to a few of us that were on the pro side. If after you've done all your research, you still have a negative view of what Gamergate was, you know what? That's cool. At least do the research first.
Cool. Well, hey, you survived my interview. Is there anything else you want to talk about
Woohoo!
relating to GG or anything else?
Uh, I'm I'm glad I made the friends I made from Gamergate. Um, I have so many positive memories with people like Norgal and Leon, and even long after we all kind of left Gamergate behind. Just like Nurgle, when I was in his nasty car accident last year, Nurgle was one of the first people that I like DMing going, dude, I'm in the hospital. I got a broken rib and all this shit. So I'm glad I met the people that I did, and I still love these guys. Okay, let me rephrase it. There are a few people I think I could have done without, but
Well, there's a few people we could have all done without back then, but
yeah, yeah.
yeah. But
I
most
will
of us were
say
good
that
people, and it's bullshit
most,
that
yes.
we get demonized like this.
Also, the stream that happened that Monday Matt hosted between Ethan Ralph and Mr. Medicare was fucking wild.
Was that the one where? Okay, no, we don't have to get into that. That was.
It was a weird, it was like I had stepped through a weird portal into the past. It was it was something. I just remember like the first half hour just sitting there staring at my computer screen dazed going, I can't fucking believe this is happening right now.
Do you want me to send you something absolutely positively fucking ridiculous? If
Sure.
from those days. Okay, well, I'll do it off air. I'll do it off air.
Okay.
Um, but cool. I think we're good. Unless there's something else you want to bring up with GG.
Nope.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and raid some people, and then I'll send you that thing because it is hilarious. I don't even know why I have a copy of this other than I find it funny. So there's that.